He's stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one, and soon to be known as Earth's mightiest hero.
Why would a god take orders from anyone at all? Maybe I need to show you what I'm capable of.
Avengers, you're gone. No one's coming to save the day.
We could be the people that are coming.
Wait, us?
Being the hero, there is no higher calling.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Fresh off the Avengers Doomsday announcement of all of that cast, Marvel released a brand new Thunderbolts trailer hyping on more Sentry and more Avengers-related stuff, because a lot of the Thunderbolts trailer is playing on tropes from the original Avengers movie. They're literally replicating a lot of the shots from the original Avengers trailer, like that very first Avengers trailer in a lot of these trailers. This time, though, Val gets way more on the nose in the way that she directly references the Avengers and how she's replacing them with the creation of the Sentry. Basically an all-in-one payoff to the Avengers tagline, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, as in Earth's Mightiest Hero, singular now. We literally just got Chair Watch yesterday. We spent all day watching those Avengers Doomsday chairs, and Sentry was part of them. What does this mean for that movie, too, that Doctor Doom is showing up and he has to deal with Sentry? How does Doctor Doom have any chance of stopping Sentry during Avengers Doomsday? Even though it does seem like a lot of Marvel's plans the last couple years have been very last minute, very change kind of situation, like, oh, we need to go in a completely different direction, let's pivot to some other direction now with Doctor Doom and Avengers Doomsday, Secret Wars. I do think that they filmed the Thunderbolts movie with this problem in mind, this power creep problem, because we've been making a lot of Dragon Ball anime references, talking to tropes in the Thunderbolts movie with the Sentry character and the way he works just in the narrative in general. How would anybody in any movie have any chance of defeating him? Look at the trailer here. He's literally sucking people into the void here, like he's just zapping them, pointing at them, sucking them into this void space. He literally calls himself a god during this trailer, like he's in void form. So it's actually the void that's calling himself a god, but we'll get to that. So if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. It just seems like Marvel is on a run this year with Thunderbolts, then Fantastic Four, so they really need Thunderbolts to do okay, and they really need Fantastic Four to be absolutely rock solid. Make as many Ben Grimm puns as possible. Starting at the beginning of the new trailer footage, this scene seems like it's from Val and some other totally different scene talking to somebody else, basically explaining the Sentry to someone. Not clear who she's talking to, if she's talking to the Thunderbolts characters, or if she's having a meeting with her OXC people.
He's stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one, and soon to be known as Earth's mightiest hero.
Her company is OXC, based on the comic book version. It's probably not going to be quite as otherworldly as the comic book version, because it gets very cosmic with the organization. In the context of the MCU, they're probably just going to be like a BlackRock contractor type of company that has their hands in a lot of pies and makes a lot of money off of the business of war. She's used the money that she gains from that group to buy the Avengers Tower from Tony Stark way back in Spider-Man Homecoming. They revealed she's basically turned it into what she's calling the Watchtower, which is another big reference to the Sentry's base during the more recent Sentry run in the 2000s. Watchtower being the new Avengers Tower is meant to be a comp to it in the comics being on top of the Avengers Tower. But at least the way she's pitching it to someone else, she's saying that the Sentry is stronger than all the other Avengers, basically all the Avengers' powers rolled into one. And that is kind of the vibe in the comics, where the Sentry just has crazy numbers of powers. Like, it goes way beyond what you see from him in the trailer. Most people who don't read Marvel Comics probably see him and think that he's a Superman comp, like, oh, his powers are like Superman. No, it goes way beyond that in the comics. She does the Avengers tagline reference, Earth's mightiest hero, as in singular this time instead of multiples. When he's walking down the steps in his boots, it looks a little bit like his comic book costume. The colors are just a little bit more muted, like they're not quite as bright, but he's walking down the steps in the top level while the other Thunderbolts characters are confronting Val, and it's meant to be a comp to Iron Man entering during the first Avengers movie when he was talking to Loki, the "we have a Hulk" scene. Except the twist is that Val is basically saying, we have a Hulk like I have a Hulk, and that Hulk is Sentry. When he says, why would a god take orders from anyone at all, and things seem like they move to chaos, is probably when he starts thrashing them around the top of the Avengers Tower. Like he starts pushing them out the window, he rips off Winter Soldier's arm, and just basically trashes them. My assumption is this is him talking to Val, basically saying, you don't tell me what to do, and he's gone into full void mode, and that's when she's completely lost control of him. And it's the Thunderbolts that wind up having to save the day, and they walk into the void. Like you see the scene of them walking into this black space. That's basically the way they're visualizing the void, where they're confronted with all these past versions of themselves, all the terrible moments from their lives they have to overcome.
There's some big threat out there, and you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
It just kind of seems like the vibe of the trailer so far is that the void personality, the void part of the Sentry, manifests all their trauma as real things that they actually have to physically fight inside this void space. Like imagine all your nightmares, all the things that you hated about your past turned real that you were faced to actually fight. This line where he says, maybe I need to show you what I'm capable of, also seems like it's from a completely different part of the speech. Like they're just cutting together a couple different lines where he then goes into full void mode and starts pushing everybody into this shadow realm, the void space. When you see him turning everybody into shadows, and there's a couple new scenes of this, like him turning people in the office into shadows, is him pushing them into the void space. Then there's the line from the actress who seems like she's playing a version of Songbird who says, the Avengers were gone, who is going to save us essentially, and they're trying to justify Val's creation of the Sentry as if she were creating him because she didn't think the Avengers were going to save them, like literally the fear that the Avengers weren't going to be around. I think this is built on the idea that the way Kevin Feige's explained it, it's not totally text inside the MCU movies, but they kind of allude to it in the Marvel Phase 4 movies. Right after the final battle in Avengers Endgame, there were a couple of the original Avengers that did survive. They all went their separate ways to just work on their own separate projects, basically people just recovering after the final battle, where you see a lot of characters like Val come along and say, well, we haven't had Avengers, it's been chaos the last several years, I'm gonna fix it, but she's gonna do it in the most shady way possible by creating the Sentry, who she promptly winds up losing control of and winds up turning into an even worse villain than what we saw during the first Avengers movie with the Chitauri and Thanos. So you kind of see what's happening in all the trailers, or at least the last couple ones, is that Bucky winds up putting the team together and they rally to save the world from the Sentry in the void. But as they've shown in some of the more recent trailers, you see them inside the void here, like they're next to this bar punching the chicken. It seems like they're punching some of their nightmares too, like just everybody's going crazy inside this space. And there's Bob inside his civilian clothes, and it seems like the Bob personality is trapped inside the void. They have to save the Bob from the void part of himself. So it's basically a talk no jutsu situation where they talk the Sentry down back to Bob form. Maybe a few characters get killed, because we also have to address the whole Taskmaster of it all was not in the Thunderbolts lineup that they announced during Avengers Doomsday. Literally all the Thunderbolts characters are coming back during Avengers Doomsday, all the main characters except for Taskmaster. What a way to find out that a character might not make it out of the Thunderbolts movie. It's not confirmation that she dies during the Thunderbolts film, but it definitely is strong evidence that she doesn't make it out of that movie. There's also been a lot of talk about Marvel editing their trailers in misleading ways, which is a very common thing, putting Taskmaster in scenes in the trailer that she doesn't appear in during the actual movie. The way they've talked about Taskmaster's storyline in the Thunderbolts film is that she has a very different type of story. My assumption is that she's either working for Val and winds up being betrayed and then killed by Val by Sentry, like Sentry winds up killing her, or she winds up sacrificing herself. We will see what happens to Taskmaster. I really do not care about the character, so live or die, I actually kind of don't care if she makes it out of this movie. But because pretty much all the Thunderbolts are coming back during Avengers Doomsday, we know that most of them will survive the end of the movie. My assumption when it comes to Sentry, though, because that is the big question, like I talked about at the beginning of my video here, is that what they'll do at the end of Thunderbolts is they'll find a way to depower Sentry so that he will just be Bob, like he'll go back to being just Bob Robert Reynolds. One of the ways they accomplish twists like this in the comics is they basically just get him to forget that he has powers. Like he literally just doesn't remember that he has powers, so he doesn't have them. So when Doctor Doom shows up to the MCU, Robert Downey Jr. in Avengers Doomsday, that's probably how they deal with Sentry. Like he's not able to stop Doctor Doom because technically, quote unquote, he doesn't have powers. There are also a couple ways where they can explain Doctor Doom uses his magic to get around Sentry and traps him somehow, and when we get to Secret Wars, that's when he loses his powers or forgets that he has powers. Like, the changes that Doctor Doom makes as God Emperor Doom just cause Sentry to forget that he has powers. There are a couple different twists that would logically explain how Doctor Doom is able to deal with the Sentry. But everyone post all your predictions in the comments below. If there are any Easter eggs or references you spotted during the new trailer footage that I didn't talk about in the video, just write them below in the comments. There are a couple other Avengers Doomsday's videos that I'm working on because there were a lot of really big characters that they did not announce during that main cast, but the whole idea is that isn't the entire main cast, just a lot of the biggest characters. So in the next couple days, I'll do a video talking about all the other quote-unquote characters that they did not mention, what's going on with them during the events of Avengers Doomsday, because pretty much every single Marvel character who has ever uttered or been featured in any Marvel comic will probably have some role in one of the next Avengers movies. Literally everybody, and the kitchen sink too. Kitchen sink gonna be a real big character during one of the Avengers movies. The kitchen sink that saved the multiverse. I don't think that Avengers Doomsday announcement completely spoiled everything about Thunderbolts. There'll probably be a couple big surprises that we're not expecting just based on the trailers. We also literally just got a brand new look at Daredevil's black suit with him wearing the double Ds. Like, they gave him the double Ds finally. So many jokes there. Like, people who don't watch Daredevil are probably like, why is everybody talking about double Ds now? What's going on online? Is everybody a pervert now? The answer to that is yes. Yes, everybody is a pervert, but also there's a bunch of comic book Daredevil stuff that just happened. So I will do a completely separate video about that too, just about Daredevil stuff. So a lot of Marvel going on right now. Hopefully we'll get some new Superman footage too. Everybody click here for that Avengers Doomsday trailer that they just released, and click here for my brand new Daredevil episode video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.